Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Can you hear me okay? Can you guys give me a little feedback if you can hear me okay? All right. Thank you for responding, but don't please, not all of you at the same time. One at a Where are your response? Can you hear me? Hello, Earth. Can you hear? Can you hear me? There we go. That should be it. Yes. There we go. So we have. My goodness, Luna, what are you doing here? I thought you abandoned. You disappeared. Where are you, Luna? Says salam, dear Mehran. She says it's been donkey's ears. That's a new expression since I last tuned in. How is you, Mama Son, and your son? Thank you very much. Female 37 UK, I believe. Well, Luna, I have been doing my best as far as fitness and nutrition and activities and things, sports, exercise, gym. Mom is in care center. I haven't seen mom for many, many months. Once she was uh, having lunch at the restaurant that I had a chance to know, and I just went there. Of course, I saw her, but because I'm not vaccinated, I can't go to the care center. They don't let me in. My son is busy as usual with his business and ventures, and I am trying to get the word out for the things that I do, YouTube and my appointments and so on. So steady as she goes. But the main question is, how have you been? And what happened? You disappeared. Hope all was good and you had no need for being here. That's fine. So that's the question. And anyhow, delighted that you're here. Let's see. We have Potara here. We have Chinmay. Oh, Chinmay has been a while. You haven't been around for a while, Chinmay. And Xavi Gravy says, Hi, Miran. Good day to you. Thank you for that. Luna says, Alhamdulillah, glad to hear you're keeping well. Yes, I understand. As to visiting your mom, inshallah, she's well. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. Potara says, Hi, Miran. I'm doing better. I just have these images that are popping up. I'm simply disregarding them. I feel tired and anxious. Is this normal? I'm recovering from HOCD, by the way. Well, you're tired and anxious because you're trying to come to a conclusion. And when there's no need and it's not necessary at all. But we human beings have been duped to think that we live by conclusion rather than the actuality of life, which is observation. The difference, as simply put, is that if I'm walking in the street and I see something little longish, thick, darkish, brown or black on the side of the street, observation life tells me, okay, I see something brownish or black, and it's about maybe 10, 20 centimeter, and it's on the corner and nothing for me to, I noticed it. And perhaps I even notice the smell. What does it tell us? It's dog poo. Yeah. So observation life tells you, okay, you observed it and you go. The conclusion style of life, he says, I got to see what it is. Why is it here? Why does it smell? What does it do to me? All of that you want to find out about everything and everything, when it's really not necessary. All it's necessary for you to have observed it, became notified of its existence, allow it to exist without having any responsibility or having any connection or having any interest to know more about it, but knowing that this is environment outside, and worms and the dog poo and the debris and the branches and the leaves can fall and be there and exist. That's part of life. Now, same thing goes in your head. If you accept the fact that the brain is a thought manufacturing entity, plant, factory, and you have no need to know what it does, what it manufactures, why it manufactures, any meaning to what it images and thoughts and ideas, suggestions show up in its screen of the head. If you realize that you don't need to delve into it and figure out anything, just allow things to be while you're allowed yourself to be, and choose and veto and whatever it is that you are interested in life and not interested in life, go about that. Instead, you neglect yourself and you want to pay attention to a dog poo or a thought showed up. What does it mean? Why is it having anything to do with the brain to determine your identity? Determine what you should pay attention to or not. Determine your interests or not. Why suggestions outside of you supposed to attract your attention? What for? Because we have been duped since childhood, misunderstood the meaning and usage and presence of brain. We have misunderstood the interpretation or the existence or the purpose of the brain, and we have understood it mistakenly as the protected, as the protector of us. You think brain is the protector. Therefore, you think what brain suggests or conjures up, the images that shows up in the head, are there to protect you. They're not. Brain is not an intellect. Brain doesn't know anything to protect you. Brain is a bunch of neurons. Its job is to do certain process and certain protocol in order to be at your service when you want to use it to do something with it. Instead, you have turned this that is there for your service to use it to do something with it, like figuring out something, designing something, producing something, learning something, all these other things that can be done using the brain. You have turned it into that the brain is the intellect, and what it suggests or appears in its screen of your head, is what you are, what you should follow, and it's your leader. And what it says trumps you, because you think you're less than the brain, and brain is you. Brain is your leader, you think. Versus the fact, actuality, fact that is proven by the modern science, not just Aristotle's talk 1,000 years ago. With modern science has been proven through neuroscience that you're not the brain, brain is not you. There are aspects of mind and you that the brain cannot even reach. There is no localizing center for intellect in the brain. They can't localize center for compassion. They can't localize center for consciousness. They cannot localize center for math. They cannot localize center for intellect, I said, and they cannot localize center for many other things that they cannot localize. What they can, and they have proven, is that they can stimulate part of the brain, and a certain limb or certain characteristics of you or abilities of you could show itself up, such as they can stimulate part of the brain and your limb can move, or you could see a light if they stimulate occipital point in the back of the head, and or they can make you make a sound, like the speech could be stimulated, but they can't localize compassion center, intellect center, consciousness center, political center. They can't localize where these are located, the center for these sort of thoughts and thinking and actions and reactions. So you need to understand that you are separate from the brain, and brain is not you and you're not the brain. Therefore, brain is not your protector. Brain is an apparatus that puts out suggestions and puts out information, and you, the awareness, that is you, the awareness, the higher up in the chain of command, you decide, judge what's usable, what's not usable. Not that what it comes from the brain shows up. I gotta now find a conclusion for it, interpret it. Why is it there? It must have a meaning. It's a deity. No, it's not. It's just another organ doing its thing and going through its own malfunction and disastrous negotiation of its duties when it fails. And we all face that on a daily basis. That's why you have something called the veto power, where in vetoes, brain is not even involved. There is no electromagnetic field generated in the brain when you veto something that the brain, a decision has been made or shown up. If you understand this, then you understand the power of your awareness. That is you. Brain is an organ. So what it suggests and shows up, conjures up, should not bamboozle you that now I got to find out what it means in regards to me. Means nothing. Because you live by your choices and your vetoes, not by suggestions, ideas, images that the brain puts out. Brain is an organ. That's it. And it messes up, malfunctions, just like any other organ. Liver, kidney, intestine. You get diarrhea, don't you? Malfunction. A bug is in there. Same thing with brain. You got to now debug it by rewiring it through the way you react to the thoughts and suggestions and images that shows up in the brain. And you help the brain to come back to its default setting without having all these malfunctions, and through neuroplasticity, by the way you treat thoughts and understand that you accept that they can exist, but they're irrelevant to you. Lots of things exist in the world, but they're irrelevant to me, but I accept that they can exist. Same thing with thoughts from the brain. Then you're on your way to freedom, freedom from thoughts and freedom from bullshit. The last part was a very scientific way of saying it. All right, all right, all right. Okay, now, Chin may say, long time, sir. My mother, sister, even the housemaid has been experiencing eerie, unexplainable stuff in this home that I've shifted to since a year or so. I myself get strange vibes. Interesting. Luna says, I've been all right. Thanks. Missed tuning in, but you're always in my mind and your good advice in my thoughts. Glad to join you today. So are we. I'm glad that you had a chance to say hello. Always delighted to hear from you. Wonderful people around the world. Luna. Chinmay says, the watchman disclosed that a young man had died of a heart attack in the bathroom. Strangely enough, this fits the description given by my family. I'm actually unable to sleep. It's 2 a.m. Well, they usually don't have any harm toward you. You feel their presence. That's an ability, your mother, your sister, and that's wonderful. So you can have the sense of their presence, but there is no danger to you. So sleep. In fact, if anything, they'll protect you. So, Chinmay says, it immediately struck me to come here since you're a wise old person. Hey, hey, talk for yourself. Wise, maybe old, I don't know about that. Whom I always confide in, and I'm thankful for that opportunity. My pleasure, Chinmay. I don't think you should worry about anything. Usually, such incidences, it is not directed any negative energy towards you, but you sense their presence and they sense your presence. So we'll live in harmony. There's no danger uh, from that entity, that spirit, that existence, that presence to you or your family. It's just that you are sharing that environment and he exists. So. And Xavi Gravy says, 29 male Philippines says, hi, can you give me more insight as to why a woman could move on while still in a relationship? She has formed an emotional bond with a person online which she hadn't even met before. Well, because she has carved that entity, that person, that friend or whatever you want, that connection, she has carved a certain character to that what she has not seen, experienced, doesn't know what he is, but a few kind words and compliments have created certain kind of a interest to fill the vacuum in her own personal achievements and satisfaction and confidence in her life. And then she has carved those words into a persona that she has given all these characteristics that she's interested in to that person, because obviously she doesn't know that person. And so she's living in a certain kind of a virtual satisfaction, having created some kind of a thing that fills the void that she feels in her life. You may talk to her and see if you can help her to see rather than trying to just say, oh, that's bad, don't do that, and all that. You can step away because it's all by choice. If she's not interested to continue her relationship with you, or she's in a relationship with you, but she's flirting or enjoying connection with somebody else, that means her life is very limited to what she does, maybe as a job, and certain things that she's missing. So few words makes her fall in love, or maybe in lust, or maybe in interest, to have a connection that makes her feel good where she hasn't been able to make herself feel good through her accomplishments and hopes and aspirations in life. It's not on you. So if she wants to continue that, she may, and it's up to her. Don't have to be her mom or dad or advisor. Let her figure it out. You move on if you don't think that is something that is going to be resolved itself soon enough. You move on and tell her too. Say, listen, how would you feel if I have some kind of a internet buddy woman that would, flirt with me, and I would feel great because there's nothing bad I could see from her because she's on internet. And so I will add all the good credentials to her to the point that I wouldn't even love you anymore because I think she's better. Why? Because I haven't seen anything bad about her. Why? Because I don't even see her. I don't interact with her in reality, in the real life situation. So I don't know what she's like. So I give her all these few words that she chooses and uses to make me feel good. I use that and give her all the other compliments that one can give a woman. So she becomes somebody real, amazing, but in reality, she could be just piece of shit. But I have created her as an amazing person. Why? Because I am in need of an amazing person. So I created that for myself. And you're doing the same thing with this guy. So how would you feel like? And if she says, well, it's okay. It's not like, do you think, why do you say this? Okay, then have a nice day. Bye-bye. I'm gone. Relationship is not like that you can be flirting around and then be in relationship with me. I'm not interested in that. That's it. But if you don't have the balls and you just want to hang around until she's done with her flirting and gets back to you, well, that's no commitment. And that's up to, then it's on you. Column says, 27-year-old from England says, I've been laughing at my intrusive thoughts lately because they're silly and have no power to change. You're right. And Xavier Gravy says, all the while I was oblivious to it. She could have communicated with me, but she didn't, and let our relationship die. And when she was ready, she pulled the trigger and ended things. Oh, okay. I got blindsided by it. Doesn't matter. Why do you think blindsided? I mean, if you have to keep your eyes open and watch for everything in a relationship, that's a shitty relationship. A relationship is when you don't have to keep your eyes open all the time to check everything. That means it's already has a certain respect and commitment from both sides, that they themselves are naturally keeping the boat afloat and full speed ahead, steady as she goes, with no interruption, because they are responsible. They're watching it themselves. You don't have to watch each other. That's a relationship. But you're supposed to become a policeman, shit on that relationship. Move out, jump ship, or in the ocean, even. Better than that. Let the sharks eat you than the shark that is right next door. All right. Okay. Says, I said I'm more in control of my emotions right now and staying away, but it still bothers me. Why? Some idiot who's in a relationship is flirting with somebody else. Why should it reflect on your personality? Why should it bother you? That's the idiot whose character is questionable, not yours. So, in fact, it's your lucky day to know that this is the kind of girl she is. Move on. That's your opportunity. And but it still bothers me from time to time, which makes me ruminate on it. It has been 4 months since the break. Oh, really? They got to get my ugly stick and beat it on your head. 4 months and hanging around just to see why she did this. Who gives a shit? I mean, if somebody comes and shits in the middle of your living room, which one do you wonder more? What was the reason that she shit in the living room? Or it's a shit. Let me clean it up and get rid of the smell and all the garbage here and sanitize the place and move on with my life, invite a guest and so on, and move on with my activities and use my place as it's designed and meant to be used. Or you're going to just keep thinking, looking at it. So why did she do that? What's the reason? Who cares? Your responsibility is to get up and clean it up and get rid of it, the situation, change the atmosphere, and move on with your life. And don't let her back in the apartment, once you learn that. So it's not important why. Listen, guys and girls, why is not important when somebody breaks up with you. Why is not important when somebody breaks up with you. All it's important that that person is broken up with you. And not that is important, that is what you should focus on. The fact is that person broke up with you. Now what do you do? What you do is you accept, respect that person's decision, but you respect yourself that I now have no need to be with the person who broke up with me, doesn't want, cannot be, for whatever reason, committed to me. Therefore, I now have a plan for my life. I move on with my activities and I will keep my ears and eyes peeled for other opportunities, as this one didn't work. That's it. The rest of it is garbage, bullshit, waste of life and energy. It doesn't, you cannot constantly wonder about why somebody else made a decision that is good for them, because we all make decisions for the most important person in our life. What is that? Who is that? Me. You are the most important person in your life. So whatever decision you make is because of that, because you know you're the most important person in your life. You make decisions that suits you. So why that person made the decision is not important. It's important that what decision you make for you now that you know that person has made that decision. And that's how you go on with business, with life. Otherwise, constantly you're hanging around and can't move on, can't get your ship off a dock, and wondering why. Who cares? There's no time in life to wonder about why other people do something. Only thing you got to wonder is why you do something. You don't like it? Move on. It's like you parked your car somewhere in the street, and then somebody is pouring some garbage from, I don't know, above buildings, high rise or whatever, or pouring paint or whatever, debris, and coming down on your car. And you keep coming out of the car looking, why is he doing that? Who gives a shit? Get in the car, turn the switch on, move on to a different location, park it there. Because the fact here is they're pouring shit, they're pouring debris, paint, garbage, dirty water on your car. It's not time to find out why. It's time to move out of that shitty situation and park somewhere else. And don't worry about why. Focus on the fact that good thing you moved quickly and got your car out of the harm's way and yourself. That's it. If I want to wonder about why somebody did this, why somebody didn't do that, why, in anything in life, the whys will ruin your life and waste your time and keep you away and behind of what you can accomplish if you would have spent your time to figure out what you should do, not why the other person is doing what it's doing or what the other person doing what she's doing. All right, let's move on to okay. It was an 8-year relationship. So if somebody, that again, these are all to your advantage. If somebody can do that after 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, a year, 2 years, 8 years, it's even worse. All of them is bad. You make a decision based on their actions, not based on my decision should be, I should find out why they did that. Who gives a shit? What? You go to a restaurant, they bring the food, and you're eating the food, there's a cockroach in it, or there's some kind of a stink, or some kind of bad quality. You notice. So what should you do? Stop eating, spitting it out? Or say, why they put this cockroach in this? Why it smells this way? Stop eating it. You don't need to find out why and what is the smell. You don't like it? It's not good? Not convinced that it's good quality or clean? Stop. Action. Not, I got to figure out why. Who cares? All right. Okay. Chinmay says, thank you, sir. That's reassuring. Welcome. All right. Gravy, Xavier, that's enough talking about your situation. I think I've said enough. It applies to the rest of it. I'm not even going to read it because you're just going on about something that I said you should act rather than just simply wonder. Wasting your time. Harman Pete says, what to do if someone wants just a physical relationship? Harman, let me know your age, gender, where you tuning in from, then I'll get back to you. T says, hi, Mehran, male 21 from London. Says, I keep on getting interrupted by HOCD-related images when I think good sexual thoughts about woman, and it already upsets me. How do I stop this? You don't need to stop it. You just simply understand that these are things that are irrelevant to you. But they can be there. Just like if I walk in the street, I see all kinds of people, all kinds of activities, all kinds of cars and colors of the cars and stores and products. But most of them are irrelevant to me. So I don't go spending time with all these things just because they're there. I just notice them and move about my business. Notice them and go. Notice them and go. Notice them, and I know it's not of my interest, not my prerogative, not my preference. So, but I accept that they can exist because it's thought, it's brain, it's no deity, it's not me, it's the brain, it's OCD, it's not me. Out there, all kind of things, all kind of people, all kind of food, all kind of products, all kind of activities, irrelevant to me. but I accept that they can be there. So I see them and I go about my business. So they're there and I'm going about my business. So thoughts are there, but irrelevant to me. I don't have to pay attention to them. I recognize them. That's not my choice. I go about thinking about what I like to think. Keep doing it. Eventually, it shuts down, right? You resist it. You pay attention to it. Why are you there? I got to kill you. I got to destroy you. Why you're appearing in my head? You're giving more energy to it and more focus on it. Ignoring means accept it is there, so thank you very much, but I'm not interested. Go on. Eventually, the brain gets the idea and subsides and reduces the production of these things. So you got to help it to heal itself and correct its behavior rather than paying attention to it and fighting with it, which is what it wants, resistance, so it can stay alive through the resistance, through the debate, through the back and forth, through the argument. It gets energy from it. Don't give that energy, it dies down. It may take a while, but it will. That's how it works. Don't mind it. Don't be afraid of it. Okay, so what? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Intrusive thoughts, okay. Dick in my mouth. Oh, okay. Okay. So what? There's no actuality to it. When you understand there is no actuality power to the thought by itself to become any actuality ever, it's only you decide and give command or action to turn any thought into any action or actuality. It's only you, not the brain. When you understand that brain has no power, thoughts have no power, they don't give a damn. Show up. I just focus on what I want to do. In a field of soccer or baseball, you have the ball. There's so many people there, so many players in the field. You ignore all, you see them all, but you don't get distracted. You focus on the one that you want to pass the ball to. So you focus on that, even though there's so many other players in the field. Baseball, so many other players, but you focus on where you want to throw the ball in, who has the ball that might hit you. So you focus on how to dodge that. So there's only one thing you got to focus is what you want to do, not what's showing up and these images, because all those people are in the field, but you only focus on where you want to dribble and go. So you focus on what you do, not what's there interrupting or could pose as an interruption to where you want to go. You just focus on where you want to go. There is nothing where you want to go. Always free, because where you want to go is not where the intrusive thoughts are. But when you go to where the intrusive thoughts are, then you can't see where you want to go. Make sense? I hope so. All right. In other words, don't give it a time of day. That's it. And Kuro00 says, hello, male 26 from California, US. Great to see you again. Thank you for that, and thanks for being here. Harman says, female 29 from Canada. Oh my goodness, we have a Canadian here, eh? Canada is a big place. Harman, where in Canada are you? So she says, what to do if someone wants just a physical relationship? What do you care about what someone wants? What about what you want? Are you up for it? Do you want a physical relationship? Do you think he's a good enough person that that's a cost you're willing to pay? Or is it a cost? Or is it also your pleasure and you enjoy that? You decide. What is it that stops you from what you want, what you would prefer, what you would allow, and you're focusing on what that other person wants? What about you? Because you're framed and limited to certain rules and cultural and customs that you're being confined in. So you want to say what this guy wants, it's against what my culture or my expectations or my plans or my ultimate goal is. And I'm going to hold that pleasure from myself or from this guy, keep it hostage to get what I want. And that guy has a right too. He says, look, I don't want to give you what you want, which is, I don't know, marriage or whatever it is, relationship. I just want to fuck. And he's honest enough to say it. Now, There is no morality here. It's what you like. Do you want that or you don't want that? If you think, no, I'm not interested in this guy and there's nothing in it for me anyhow, so not at all. Or you say, like, I like the guy and okay. Or you might say, hey, too much for me to risk. You know, what if I get pregnant? You got to have these talks, all these things. And okay, you have a remedy. Okay, we're going to, I don't know, abort the child or abort the fetus, or we're going to do this or do that. Have plans, clear that out between you two, and then you see how you feel. You're wondering about how the other gun feels, and based on certain kind of a rules and regulation custom, you're trying to figure out to make a decision. What about you? What would you do if you were not bound by any cultural, framework? Then I guess you can come up to an answer. All right, guys, I'll be here for another maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then I got to go. So you're welcome, Xavi. And user 22 says, good evening. How are you, my man? Thank you very much. Good to see you. Christoph, I believe. Orlando Osuna says, 45 Albuquerque, New Mexico says, after my breakup, I feel anxious and sad that I have to let go of someone who I felt I had chemistry with. She was fun and attractive. Excuse me? You feel anxious and sad that you have to let go of someone who you felt you had chemistry with? If that's true, why would you want to be with someone who obviously doesn't want to be with you? What kind of chemistry is that? How could it be a chemistry when the girl is leaving, but you say, I have to let go someone who had chemistry with? If she had chemistry with you and you had chemistry with her, why would she leaving? Or is it you who's breaking up? I feel anxious and sad that I have to let go. What does that mean? That means she's already left and you got to let go, or you got to let go. I did break up with her because she was unfaithful to our relationship. So if she was unfaithful to the relationship, how the fuck is it that she had chemistry with you? Unless it's something new that you can tell a person has a chemistry with if she goes and fucks with somebody else. Or maybe she has chemistry with this other guy. Why are you fooling yourself? What is it that stops you from seeing it clear and say, I have no interest in such a relationship where the woman doesn't want to be committed to me? Why would I be committed to her? If she doesn't want to be committed, a relationship is what? About commitment, isn't it? At least one of the things. If she doesn't want to be committed to me, why would I feel sorry to let her go? Because it's not that you had chemistry with this, because you're lust. You're thinking with your dick. You're not focusing on what qualities she brings to your life, what support she will give you mentally and physically, as far as bringing that tranquility and assurance in your mind that you don't have to worry about the relationship. She will be custodian and guardian of it, as you will be custodian and guardian of the relationship and your part. And therefore, you can relax. There's a commitment here. When that's not there, what's there that you want to be in the relationship for? That you're sorry to let go. You're letting go something and somebody in a relationship with somebody who's already let go. So why would you have a problem to let go with someone who's already let go? Why do you want to not let go with someone who is not thinking the same as you? Are you fooling yourself? Or you're so lazy that you think that's the only woman on earth? You're 45, young as a buck. Believe me, when I was at my 45, I was on top of the world, better than any time in my life, mentally, physically, financially. So, you need to change your frame of thinking and focus the fact. What is it that makes you feel sad to let go? It's not because she's committed woman to you. She's got qualities that you can't replace. It's not because of her being the right girl for you that you have chemistry with. It's because you're lost. You have lust. That's it. And the lust is not enough to keep a relationship going or ensure its validity or its longevity. It's just simply a temporary fake that is going to keep you hanging around a situation where it's not even qualified for you. But the lust doesn't let you to see that because you're just running after fulfilling your desire with pleasure. That is the pleasure that is stopping you from letting go, not chemistry. Where is the chemistry? She's fucking somebody else, and then you say, "Oh, we have chemistry." Are you a fucking idiot, or you're fooling yourself? So when you face the facts and come to respect yourself and what you expect and your criteria and standards, and see that this woman who lacks ability to stay committed and has proven it by having slept with somebody else, or by having gone with somebody else, or having found somebody and wants to be going somewhere else. Just one moment, guys. I'll be right with you. All right, I'm back. So that's the way you deal with it. Face the fact, face the truth, and live up to your standards that you expect and respect yourself. That's all. The rest of it, yeah, okay, it's going to be tough because you had somebody to, you know, fool around with and enjoy between her legs. That's lust. Now you don't. Go find another. It's not the last woman on earth. All right. Ox says, "Hello, Mehrat." You changed my name, did you? It's supposed to be an N, for heaven's sakes. And says, Chris 20, El Salvador. Says, "I cannot get close to regular girls. I feel like it's an effort. They are hard to impress and get upset easily." Well, stop impressing them and don't give a shit if they get upset, because it shouldn't be because of you, because you're a gentleman and you abide by the proper behavior, and therefore they have no reason to get upset. And if they get upset because your opinion is different than theirs, well, they can go jump in the lake. You're giving them too much echelon because you're 20 years old and you're willing to do anything just to get between their legs, and you're willing to pay for anything. And you think because that's what you want, then they are smarter than you, better than you, more qualified to be with, you need to spend lots of money on them. You're giving all that because you've got the huts for being with a woman, and that's your age. Otherwise, they've got nothing over you, and they're just as needy as you are. You just have to have more confidence in yourself and not put them on pedestal. Once you put them on pedestal, they think that's where they belong, and then they'll start shitting on your head from there because you put them up there. You bring them to the same level and treat them like a normal human being, not someone that you're really after, getting into their pants. Therefore, you stop being needy. And because you're not needy, you become normal. When you're normal, they'll love you, they'll be attracted to you. All right. Orlando says, okay. She was fun and attractive, but she was a mess. She was not trustworthy. She lied, etc. In a way, I feel like life is not fair sometimes. Why is not fair? It's really fair. Got rid of someone who was having all these problems. It would it be fair if if life would keep this shit in your life? No, it's fair. It got rid of it. Somebody likes you. So got rid of the problem that you couldn't get rid of. You didn't have the balls to get rid of because your balls were all in her hands. And that's no good anyhow. Thoughts on how to deal with these feelings. Thank you very much. I just told you. Don't give a shit. Go find wonderful, amazing, decent women who are out there. Don't belittle the quality of the woman out there just by the shit samples that you may come across and have to deal with. All right, guys, it's been almost an hour, and it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to our next live stream. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others, and know that mindthatseekstruth.com, it's only one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype should you need to. I'll talk to you soon. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mindthatseekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.